Hello, my name is Jordan Gibbs, part of the Career and Technical Ed here at Go Lake High School. Now, last video I talked a little bit about how to install virtual machines, that being Linux and Ubuntu. This video, I think I'm going to go through a bit of the CLI commands, command line interface commands of said virtual machine. So I'm going to load up that hypervisor 2 that we have. Remember the definitions from that from last video. A little buzz there for opening it up. And I'm also going to be having my notes here on this side as well. I need this to open up first, I think, though. And I have my notes there. And I have my name there, my user, I should say. And I could open that up. Now that our virtual machine is loaded up, I'm going to be teaching you a bit about the CLI commands. So, one key trick I like to use here is Control-Alt-T. This brings up the terminal or the command line interface where you could put commands in. First command I'm going to do is called ID. Here, if I do that, we have ID. What it does, it sees details about active users. Now, we know that I'm the current active user here, so if I type that in, it says Gibbs. Gibbs right here, that's my user. And there's a bunch of other stuff here, groups, users, all that stuff, but I'm not going to be getting into that right here. And for last system logins, what does it do? It shows the last system logins here. And you see that I have a bunch of logins here from school. I'm going to do a Control L here. Oopsies, it's still in that thing. Sometimes you may have to click back into your hypervisor 2 if you click outside of it. And there's a who command, and it shows who's currently logged in. W. And what does that do? It shows who is logged in their activity. We see, well, there's one user, and their activity is right here. Log in. I logged in at this time. We can see my time at the bottom of the screen here. And we could see the directories and stuff like that. And now I'm going to be teaching you a bit about how to add users and all that other stuff. So if I do sudo add user, we're going to do Mario. I have to put in my password. Add user, please. Enter matching name for regular expression. Hold on a minute. Sudo add user. Oh, not a space. Add user Mario. Please add user. Oh, my bad. So one of the things that's important to know is that you can't have capitals when you're making a username. So sudo add user Mario, and look at that, it works. Now it's asking me for a password for this guy. I'm gonna put in that. Your password could be anything you want. The full name, I'm just gonna say Mario. I don't know Mario's first name, so I'm just gonna do that. Room number, work phone, home phone, other. You could put all that information in there. That's where you would do it. Is this information correct? You're gonna want to hit Y, and that created a user. Now if we go over here, we can see that I have a command called compgen-t, and what does it do? It lists our users and groups that we create. So if I do compgen-g, I think I said something different. It's compgen-g. Type that in. Oh, gotta click back in here. And we see the user Mario that I just added. We also see my my user here. So now I'm gonna just add a bunch of users. Sudo user, and I'm gonna say Yoshi. Oh, my bad. Did the one mistake again. Remember, always keep it lowercase or it won't work. So we're gonna do the same password. And again, these are the places you could add all the information. If you were in like a real company, you'd want to add like these work phone, home phone, others for like a user in your company. Is this information correct? Yes. Then we're gonna do this. Oh, and if you're wondering how I just like got all that in here, I hit like the uppercase. I mean, not uppercase, the up arrow. Because what the up arrow does is it remembers the previous commands I've done. So let's say I up arrowed again. It went to Yoshi, the one before, comgen-g. Now that's just me using the little arrows on the keyboard. Now if I go back, I could hit the down space arrow to get back to the command that I was doing. So I'm gonna do toad. Oh, not that. My bad. Toad. Boom, 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 boom. Is information correct? Yes. So add user again. Peach. Now for a full name, you'd want to add like you want to capitalize it. You could capitalize like your full name here, but you can't do that when you're actually adding the user. So I'm gonna skip through this. Then I'm gonna add one more user, just to be safe. Bowser.
It's locked and you can't push in, you have to pull it out. When a door that pulls out is close to impossible. I have a stapler and I have a good arm. You think if I get really irritated?
Yes. So now we have users made. Now remember, I said if you want to see your users, you go to compgen-g. And what do we see here? We see Bowser, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Mario in the order that we created them. We also see my user up there. So I'm going to do another Control L. And I have here Control L. It just clears the screen. We're not going to be doing the clear command yet, but that's on file commands that I'm going to get to later. So now I'm going to show you how to create groups. So sudo group add. And what does it do? It adds a new group. Although I misspelled that on accident. That's fine. That should say name of group if you didn't know. So sudo add at group add. I'm gonna call this one social media. Just social media. Usage group add options. Oh, my bad. I accidentally did something wrong again. So you can't have a space like between the name. So what you can do is you could either do a underscore media, or you could do a capital like media. So it's camel case. But I think I like the underscore better. It just looks pretty. Sudo group add. Oh, forgot to add an A. If you want to go back, you have to. You could use the arrows to do so. And boom, that group is added. Then I'm going to do the same thing again for some other groups, like human underscore. resources. Then I'm going to add one more group just to be sure, and this is going to be called marketing. Now compgen -g, and we see these new groups that we just made. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some users to these groups. So what I think I'm gonna do is sudo user mod dash ag. Let's go social media, and we could tab to autocomplete that. And the username, I think I'm gonna add Mario. You could have tabbed to get the Mario username if you didn't have one that was like that. So, but I just chose to type it out. It's just faster. And what does this command do? Well, we see here that it adds a user to a specific group. So I'm gonna add that user to the group. I'm gonna do that again with Yoshi. Do it again. And I think instead this time we have Toad, Peach, Bowser. So I'm gonna change the group this time, and we have human resources. I'm gonna add Toad to human resources, and then I'm gonna use the last two, which is Peach and Bowser. I'm gonna use them and put them in marketing. They seem like they make good marketing, so we're gonna go Peach and Bowser. And boom, we just made, or we just added these guys to specific groups. Now, how do we know what users are in certain groups? Well, we could do get 10 group, which just generalizes it and lists users in groups. So get 10 group, and we see which users are in certain groups. Social media, we have Mario, Yoshi. Human resources, we have Toad. And marketing, we have Peach and Bowser. Now, what if you wanted to get specific? What if I only wanted to see, let's say, marketing? Well, if we go back over to my notes here, we see Gen10 group name. If we wanted to see that specific group, so let's do marketing. Mark tab to autocomplete, and we see that Peach and Bowser are in that one. So one thing I'm going to show now is how to switch into a user. And this is SU, switch users, terminal access to get their directories and files. So let's say I wanted to switch to Mario. Password, boom. Now I'm now in Mario. I'm in the Mario directory. Really fun, right? Now let's say I wanted to log back out of this user. So I would do pkill -u, or not -g, -u, and then Mario. I'm gonna log out of this guy. What is this? Pkill not found. Command. Okay, so this is probably from a previous version, but there's another way to log out of that user. All you gotta do is just switch user, and I'm gonna go back into my guy. Oh, it's still in here. I gotta switch users because this was done in my account, so it's still in the terminal. It's still Mario. So I have to su do that. So now, now what I'm gonna do is, since I'm back in here, let's say that I don't like Mario anymore in my company. I mean, that wouldn't be a good reason to delete him from a company, but we're gonna say that he did something bad. Mario did something bad, so we don't want him in our system anymore. So how do we remove that user? So if we do sudo user delete, sudo user delete, I have that somewhere here. There's sudo group delete, sudo user delete deletes a user. Uh, that should just say user. So user delete Mario. Whoa. User delete user Mario is currently being used by process compgen -g. Mario's still in there. Sudo user delete Mario. That's weird. What if I tried sudo user delete Yoshi? Okay, so it deletes Yoshi. I don't know what process 2674 is. I'm still pretty new to this, but I know that if it wasn't being used, that I could just delete any user. So if I do compgen -g, we see that Yoshi is no longer there. Now, how do I delete a group? So I would do sudo group delete, and let's say I didn't want social media. I would go about that by doing sudo group delete, which is uh, over right here, deletes the specified group, and I'm gonna tab that to autocomplete, and boom, compgen -g, and we no longer see that it's there. And now it seems like I've gone through most of the commands for user commands and stuff like that. I'm gonna go through one more, which is a newer one that I learned, which is sudo gpass -g username group name. This removes a specified user from a specific group. So let's say I accidentally added like Toad to marketing when he wasn't supposed to be there. I could do like, let's say sudo what's it called? Sudo content group remain add user to specific group. Sudo user mod -ag marketing and Toad. Actually, let's do Mario. Now, if we get tent group marketing, we should see that Mario is in here, which he is right here. So if I want to delete him specifically and not like the whole group or a user, if I don't want to delete him like from the user base but just a certain group, I would do sudo gpass wd -g -g Mario, and then the group name marketing. Why is gpassword option Mario marketing? That is weird. Well, it usually works. It would just delete that certain user from that group. But now I think I'm gonna move on to file commands. So I'm gonna do a nice Control L here to clear my screen. Clear. Now, if we do here clear, it clears the entire terminal. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that we have this little scroll thing here. We could see my entire history here of what I've been talking about. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through file commands. So ls, we could see that I have a bunch of documents here, or directories. Think of this like here. I open up my file explorer and I see those same directories and stuff. ls-a, that lists files, like every hidden file. Now, what I mean by that, anything that has a dot in here is a file, and it's not meant to be viewed by like normal users here. So I'm not gonna mess with all that right now. So pwd, that prints in my working directory. This right here that means I'm in the home directory and I'm in the user Gibbs. Now let's say I wanted to switch to a different directory. Let's say I wanted to switch to documents. Documents. Now I'm in the documents directory. If I do pwd, I'm in the documents directory. And if I wanted to move back a directory just once, I would do cd space dot dot, not cd dot dot. We see that. Move up one level in directory tree, cd change directory, and print working directory, and list all files. We have all that in the notes here. So what if I wanted to make a directory? Let's say I'm going to switch back into documents, tab to autocomplete, and I'm going to do mkdir. I'm going to call it months underscore of year. I know it's not the best of grammar here, but we're gonna ls here, and we're gonna see that we have a directory called months of the year. Now let's say I wanted to make a file in here. I'm gonna do touch, and I'm gonna call this oh, actually first I'm gonna cd into this cd months tab to autocomplete. Now I'm gonna touch and create a file in here. Touch months underscore of underscore year, and I just created a file. If I ls, we see that I have a file here called months of the year. Now, what if I wanted to open it in a text file? So I would do nano months of the year, and we're brought to this page right here. So now I'm gonna do Jan, Feb, March, April, May. I'll pause it here so I could just autocomplete this. Now we have the months of the year. Now if I wanted to get out of this, I would just do Control X, as we see down here, exit. Do I want to save it? Yes. Enter. And now it has this. It's saved as a text document. Now if we go over here and if we go to documents, months of the year, we see that it has everything that I listed. But I'm going to exit out of that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cat it. Cat months of the year. Now what does this do? It shows the contents of the file in a terminal. And we see that it has all of them. Now, what if I wanted to just show the first 10 lines? If I was in a big company and had a bunch of lists of usernames, I'd want to just know maybe the first 10 lines or the last 10 lines. It shows a lot of information for the first 10 lines, so we're going to do head and months tab to autocomplete, and it just shows the first 10 as we see here, and it leaves out November and December. Now what if I wanted to see the last 10 lines? I would do tail months of the year, and we see the last 10 lines and not January and February, which I think is pretty cool. Now, if I wanted to rename the file, like let's say MV uh, months of year to, let's just say, months. Makes pretty good sense. Now if I ls, it's now just called months. It still has everything inside of it. Nothing's changed except the name. So what if I wanted to rename a directory? So if I cd dot dot and ls months of year, that's documents is the parent directory of months of the year. So I'm gonna do months of year. Oh wait, I gotta do MV first, my bad. MV months of year 2 months. Now for ls, oh my bad. Control C. Now for ls, it just gives me months. So now that we've learned how to rename files, renames directories, there's a bunch of other things here. Moves the contents of one directory to another, moves the file to a specific folder. There's a bunch of uses for the mv command, but instead of worrying about that, I think it's time to delete this directory if I don't want it. So to do that, well, actually, I think I'm gonna remove a file in that directory first. So I'm gonna do cd month, cd m months ls, and I'm gonna remove that file. So to remove a file, all you gotta do is rm and the file name. Removes, deletes file from a directory. And months, oh, why does that keep on doing that? Anyway, that's months. Oh, it's probably because it's got to be capitalized. Now I don't want it anymore. Now I'm still in here. If I ls, there's nothing in that directory anymore. So I'm gonna do a cd dot dot ls, and we have the months directory. Now how do you remove a directory? It's kind of the same thing. rm dash r, and then months. Oh, gotta be capitalized. Months. Do that, ls, and now we do not have any directories in there anymore. And I think I went through basically all the commands except sudo shutdown now and control and the clear command. So first I'm gonna do clear. We see that we have all this history here now. Now if we do the clear command, clear, it goes back to nothing. As we see, I can't move it up or down. And if I want to go back to the original just home directory, just do cd. And now I'm going to do sudo shutdown now. Now that will shut down the virtual machine. I'm going to hit OK to that. And I think that I've gone through a lot of CLI commands. I thank you for listening to me. I hope that this helped you in your learning of Linux journey, and I hope you have a good day.